is this. We start with this. That's it. Trolltunga. The dream. Alright. 22 kilometers. So about 13-14 miles. Pretty dangerous. It says between June 15 to September 15 you can hike on your own. So I'm trying to start first because my friends, you know, they're good hikers or veteran hikers, and this is my first time, so I'm doing a head start. All right. Yeah. Climbing. All right. Let's do it. We talk about the first kilometer of this hike, which is the most dangerous, the most difficult, the craziest. It's just, for me, it was like so deadly. I have to pose every time I step on a rock and make sure that I'm not gonna lose my footing and die. I mean, you can basically die if you lose your footing or get a big injury. So I was very careful with that. You can see in my video, I'm walking through this really narrow, really like wet rocks, and it's just, you have to have some good shoes. You can't go here with a sneaker. If you see these rocks, they're wet, they're muddy, and they're narrow, and it is, and then you go into a little, like some sort of rocks as well that is so steep that you have to kind of hold onto a rope and just try to kind of climb up. so that you're gonna, so you see that in the footage right now. So before I start talking about the footage, let's talk about Trolltunga and how, you know, how difficult the trail is. So this is a video of when you can hike Trolltunga. You cannot hike Trolltunga in the winter time. No way. In the springtime and fall you can hike it, but you need a guide. And the only time you can actually hike Trolltunga was in a span of what, 2 months, 3 months, and it's a very short span of summertime. And in fact, in that summertime, you also have to be, which I am, you know, we were there July, so that was just perfect to hike Trolltunga on your own. But you have to be careful too, because when the rain pours, it makes the trail really dangerous and difficult. As you can see, these are all like rocks, granite rocks, and mud. And so let's start the trail. Started the trail here, and I went up and up. There's a couple of challenges there. I couldn't get myself up on one of those very steep rock, very large steep rock, so I have to ask somebody to kind of pull me up. I met some people that were coming up, coming home,
Something happened?
going back, and they told us that they couldn't continue because they started last
You were
night.
there all night?
Yeah, we are not tired.
And got
Well,
stuck
I'm
in
glad
the
you're
storm.
alive. That's all that matters.
Trail. So you see, this is a 13-mile trail. The total round trip is 13 miles, and it's very rocky terrain. And so, as you can see, the first trail, this is all I'm doing. I'm going up and up and up, going into each of these rocks like a stair, just slowly, stepping and trying to push myself up, stepping and pushing myself up. This is 1 kilometer of really dangerous terrain until I get into a sort of a valley now, where there's like little bridges that you have to cross, and it's very muddy, and you just cross under these bridges.
So we're getting to this area where there's like cabins in there. I think you can do stuff in that cabin. I'm not sure. Maybe if you get lost, or if you want to take a break, or
that would take you for another 2 or 3 kilometers until you get into the 4 kilometer where you have to do another steep incline.
And so we still have a steep climb somewhere. Same as this. We're done with this. We're here.
These are bigger rocks now, so it was a little bit easy for me, but there was an area there where it's so muddy, and so I keep like washing my shoes, because if you have mud in your shoes, you know, you don't get a lot of traction, and so you could slip. So I keep washing my shoes. So if I see a little water puddle or a little like stream, I would put my shoes in there and start washing it. So basically, so this is the next trail where we went to another incline, and we just kind of go through all the rocks, the big rocks, and slowly just pushing ourselves up and up and up. This, after a while, you get into the 4 kilometer point, and it tells you to stop.
So we're 4 kilometers. 7 more kilometers to get to Trolltunga. It says stop, turn around by the 4 kilometer sign if it's past 1 o'clock. Darkness sets in early. August 15 to June 15. All right. Nice to know. Moving on.
So it tells you to stop, go back if you're here at a certain time. There's a lot of reasons for that. I mean, the weather here could change dramatically in a minute, and you'll have sunny, and then you'll have rainy, and it could go into a big storm. So they just don't want you to be walking around Trolltunga at night, because you could fall in the cliff. So there is a path that you go through after 4 kilometers or 5 kilometers. Everything is kind of smooth. I'm not saying smooth like it was an easy walk. It wasn't an easy walk. You still have to go through big rocks and rocks and rocks and rocks, and you go through some waterfalls, and you go through some bridges. I'm going to show you one of the coolest things that we did during this hike was we drank from the stream. So my friend, as you can see in this video, he took some water out of the stream and drink it. I did the same way too. We all did that, and you know, you don't want a heavy load when you're hiking here. So we try to fill our water with stream water as we walk along, and with what we see. These are all glacier water. I heard it's very expensive to get one of this glacier water in the States, which is very interesting, and so we were joking around that we just filled ourselves up with a $3 water bottle that we got from the glacier stream. So this is this is one of the coolest part we did in Norway. Another thing that we did was towards I think 5 kilometers from the trail, we passed through this sort of a glacier area where we had to walk through it to get to the next spot. So this is an amazing view. I took a lot of pictures here, and me and my friends took a lot of pictures. We walked through the snow for a couple of meters until we reach another rocky area, and this area becomes very like a moonlight, like you're in the moon or some sort of another planet. So as you can see in this video, there's a lot of walking through rocks after the 5 kilometer hike, which is the most difficult part of the hike. And so there's some cliffs and areas where you have to kind of try to make sure you're safe and you don't fall, and you know, you don't lose your footing. So walking through in the fog, and there's this area here where it's so foggy and you can't see anything, and it's just difficult to see where you're going. There is a lot of good view. The problem with this hike was that there's a lot of fog and we didn't get to see the views. So if you're lucky enough to go to Trolltunga with clear skies, oh, that would be like so amazing. I mean, the view is just amazing. But when we were hiking that night, it was rainy and foggy, so it was really difficult for us to see a lot of the good views, but we still saw some good views. We took good pictures. There's a lot of waterfalls. You pass through a lot of waterfalls. It's amazing. And so we basically we arrived. It was very foggy.
Not
As you can see here, my friend,
Okay.
my friends were there earlier than me. You see, I have a 2-hour
Made
head
it.
start, but they were able to catch up a third of the
How do you
hike.
go down there?
And so they were there first instead of me. But it was great. Didn't have to wait that long though, because I was early. I had a head start. But yeah, so we arrived there. It was very foggy, and so this picture that I was talking about. See all the fjords that you're supposed to see while you're in that cliff? I didn't get to see that. It was like covered with fog. And I was able to get in here. You know, I lined up for it, but it's hard. My friends waited for like 3 hours just to see like half or just to see a little bit of the mountains, of the fjords, to see a little bit of it, but they didn't really get this really clear picture of it. So that's another thing, you know, like that's you had this expectations, and then you have the reality that you got to deal with. So, but it was a great experience. The hike was amazing. I wouldn't recommend it if you're afraid of heights, because there's a lot of heights that you have to consider with during the hike. It's very slippery. The rocks are deadly. Going back is deadlier. I mean, that was crazy. I mean, you could just fall at any time, especially the last kilometer. The last kilometer is the first kilometer that I was talking about. Now imagine going back in that kilometer, 1 kilometer of treacherous, deadly, super difficult terrain. It is something that you have to consider when you're going there. But the price is amazing. And so even if I didn't see the fjords when I was there, I was able to go into the Trolltunga and still do my big, you know, like, hey, I'm here. So I got here, and I'm very happy about it. You can see my footage. My friends were like, move more. So before I end my video, I want to talk about something very important. And also one of the purpose of this trip was that I want to fly my drone in Trolltunga. The thing is, if I'm going to show you again the sign that says don't fly your drone 150 meters from Trolltunga, and I don't know how to measure that. And how do you measure that, right? So since it was so foggy, I tried to kind of fly my drone. I was looking around, and there's no miners or anybody that's gonna tell me not to do it, or like a park police or something like that, or a ranger. So I tried to fly my drone. I did it. I did it in Boulder Rock. There was a sign that you can't fly your drone there, and still was able to fly my drone. So I thought this would be something that I could do at Trolltunga. Well, surprise. So I was flying my drone, and it was starting to fly it. And as you can see, it started to get out of control. And it's a good thing that I was able to land it. It went to return to home. You know, kind of one of its function was to return to home if something is not right. And it started doing that, and when it does that, you have no control over it, and it started to go up and then started to go down real fast. Luckily it's not broken or anything at all, but I was shocked. And basically what happened was some remote disabling device is running around Trolltunga to kind of catch the drone flyers. So yep, I wasn't able to fly my drone. Was really disappointed about that, but I think it's a safety issue. It really is a safety issue. That place is very dangerous to go to, especially with a lot of people, and you're trying to fly your drone, and next thing you know, you're like dropping your drone on people's heads. So just a precaution. nobody checks your bags or anything like that to see if you bring a drone or not, but basically you can't fly your drone in Trolltunga. 150 meters. I have no idea how to measure that when I'm out there, but I guess you just don't try to fly it. You can try, but you might lose your drone. I might crash. Anyway, that's all, and I think that the most important part of the trip is something I just said, talk about, and I'll see you guys again. I'll have more videos of some of the other hikes, but I'll do that in a later day. My friend had a real good Insta story that she just published a Facebook, and so you guys can watch that. But other than that, I'm really happy with this trip. I think I'm going back because I need to see the fjords.
On top of the world, on top of it all, trying to feel invincible.